everyone drunk, everyone just belligerent and loud and just, oh, so many people.
I yelled at a man.
It was
literally.
horrific. Like, kia ora koutou, welcome to our channel. Today we are reflecting back in time. It was actually a lot earlier this year in February. We went to Sydney, Australia, the two of us and our mother, and we went to a lot of bookstores. Maybe not a lot, depending on what your version of a lot. 5 or 6.
5 or 6, maybe 7.
Maybe more, yeah. And to be honest, we're going to talk to you today about the ones we went to and that we bought books from. There are actually a few we went to that we didn't buy anything from. If you want to see any of our picks, by the way, this is just us obviously talking about these bookstores and reviewing them. If you want to actually see what we bought, we have another video for that, so you can go check that out here. But yeah, let's get into it because they were very cool. So the first bookstore we went to is in Bondi Beach. It's called Gertrude and Alice Cafe Bookstore.
Favorite.
I didn't know this was a thing, to have cafes inside bookstores.
No, I knew that. I want that. Like that.
Incredible.
It was so nice. I got like a soy chai latte and I was just like looking at all the books. Like I got all the books that I was looking at buying, and then I just like had a little flip through. And it was like tables scattered throughout. Oh, it was so cute.
Yeah. Like some other places, it's kind of almost separated. Like there's a cafe and a bookstore in the same place, but they're separated. This was like, no, if you want to eat, sit down and eat your food, it's in amongst the books. Like there's someone browsing right next to you.
People on their phone next to you, like, which I enjoyed that.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so good. Beautiful bookstore, got some great picks.
Oh, and it just sold like general books, like it sold everything.
Yeah,
like
it was a
free for all.
It was an everything store.
Were there second hands?
There was, there were definitely second hands,
Yeah.
second hands and new.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
yeah,
I love second hand and new.
yeah, I'd say 5 stars, 5-star bookstore.
Yeah, it was great.
So the next store we went to, which, I mean, like we planned this trip and we planned some of the bookstores.
Yeah.
This was great because we stumbled across it. So this one we stumbled across because we were going to this fabulous vegan bakery in Glebe Point suburb, and we came past Sappho Books Cafe and Bar. Oh, it's so nice to just come across a bookstore when you're not expecting it.
This was the one, it was like multiple levels, like old school stairs.
It had so many rooms. It was basically, it was like a house basically turned into a bookstore. And yeah, this one was a bit different because it was more, you enter the bookstore and you can go look around and everything, and then out the back was the cafe and bar. Which, to be honest, I enjoyed that just as much.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like we personally picked up our books. We didn't buy them yet. Like we went and had a coffee sitting down while I like went back and forth on what am I going to choose, what am I not, and then as we exited, made our purchases. This one had the most adorable cat, a bookstore cat. It was cute, and I thought it was old as fuck. You'll see the images, the videos. Come on, that cat looks old, but he wasn't. I asked at the front desk and she said he's like 5 years old or something. So yeah, but no, I want to say 5 stars as well.
Oh no.
No? Oh, okay.
Oh, like 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
It did
maybe
have
3.5. I don't know.
It had a much wider selection than Gertrude and Alice.
Oh no, 4. Yeah, 4 stars.
4 stars, definitely.
So next we went to Kmart. Because I've been making it a mission to go to like as many Kmarts as I can all across the country. For reference, I live in a bus and I am able to move around a lot. So I have literally been to like so many Kmarts and they fucking suck. Like they are terrible.
New Zealand Kmarts suck.
Terrible. So when I tell you that Kmart Sydney book selection, I get us on a bookstore, 5-star. Like 5-star. Now I don't know if it's better in other areas of Australia, and I will make it my mission to find out one day.
For reference, we went to again the Glebe Point, the mall that's there. We went to that Kmart.
Incredible. Like I wish I had more money. It was
The prices are insane. I got a book that for like $16 that at another store is like $32. And I know, oh no, but you need to support the local bookstores. We do, and we have, and you will see in our haul.
It's all good.
But you know,
I'm sorry, like books in New Zealand are freaking expensive.
They're so expensive.
Like it's insane.
So yeah, Kmart was sick.
5 stars.
The next 2 bookstores. Okay, when you're planning a trip, you don't know what a place is like. So I found these 2 bookstores.
Oh, I'm having flashbacks.
Yeah, she's having
trauma flashbacks.
Yeah, these 2 bookstores that are both open until like 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And so it made it really easy, especially because it was so hot in Australia. Obviously, it was February. I was like, well, this is a great thing. There's also a great vegan restaurant on this street. This was in the suburb of Newtown. I was like, we can go to the restaurant and then we can go to the bookstores. Awesome. Yeah. It was only like 8 p.m. when we like finished dinner. And I swear, it felt like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And it was like club vibes. Like everyone out on the street, everyone drunk, everyone just belligerent and loud and just... Oh, so many people.
I yelled at a man.
It was horrific. Like, so I don't want to. Unfortunately, that does taint my ratings of these bookstores.
Yeah, because it felt like I was escaping into them, and then I was in them, and I was like, okay, but there's literally this ruckus outside with like these like drunk ass men that think they're hot shit. It was just giving. I was like, I don't want to go back out there.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's almost like I would like recommend these bookstores, but I would say go in the daytime.
Yeah.
Even if you think 8 p.m, I was just so surprised. And again, we don't go out, so maybe this is not that unusual, but it really was giving early in the morning vibes as opposed to 8 o'clock. I thought is when like people are still just getting ready to go out.
Y'all need to get a life.
Yeah, like why are you
crazy.
already wasted? So yeah, the first one was Elizabeth's Bookshop. This was fully secondhand, beautifully set out. Again though, unfortunately, next door was a pasta place that was apparently just very, very popular and people were lined up. So like you had the front of the bookstore and it was open. The front of the bookstore was open and the line was standing there. Yeah. And a lot of the books that we wanted, like the fiction books, which obviously you do put at the front of your store, they're the most popular, but so that meant we were like standing trying to look at books while people were drunk, talking, waiting in line for pasta. Yeah. Like it was a weird thing.
Yeah.
But it was a good selection.
Yeah.
And the people working there were really nice. And they also they were the creators, they claim they are, of the blind book date, of like wrapping up a book and...
That's a big claim.
I know. I feel like
that's a big ass claim.
I know, but I think they did. I looked into it.
Oh, okay.
Like at least on like I'm sure other people had that idea, but in terms of as
Like
a
coining
bookstore,
it,
like being like, hey, you come to our store and you can buy this. And sorry, I didn't finish my sentence. You wrap up a book and you say like a little bit about it and you buy the book. They also have a policy that like if you don't like it, you can come back and exchange it for something else. So
cute.
you know, yeah. So
3 stars.
3 stars. I'm sorry, it's not your fault, Elizabeth Bookshop. It's just where you're placed.
The book wasn't also like the bookstore didn't wow me enough to outdo the location of it. Like,
yes,
the size and the cost and everything. Yeah.
And I think it's a balance of, I guess, you want people to come in, so you've got all your doors wide open. I think it would be better if the doors were closed. Like if it was like I could walk in and then close yourself out.
Yeah.
But it was fully open. Anyways, the next one on that same street was Better Read Than Dead. This was just a full books, like not secondhand. This was fully new.
This was like kind of fancy. Eh?
It was actually a bit fancy.
Yeah, I didn't like this one.
No,
like 2 stars.
To be honest, I'm going to give it 3 because I did get some good books.
You did.
But
it's giving like, is the word gentrification?
Yeah, it was a very gentrified
like,
bookstore.
Really, like, I'm so cool because I read, and it's like like hipsters. I don't know.
Yeah, but but not hipsters. People who are posing as hipsters.
Oh, like posers.
It's like posers.
It's posers.
Like the.
Oh my god. Okay, no shade, but it's literally like all like the girls who have like really big YouTube channels and now they're like bookish girlies, and I feel like it's really fucking with my algorithm because I'm like I totally respect that you love books now and you're a bookish girly and I'm here for that, but you literally like had 1 million followers and then you became a bookish girl and now all your content is like booktube, and that's cool, you can do what you want,
but it's basic.
But it's like is this deep down like this works for you because it's like book talk, like being a bookish girl is becoming like there's a whole thing on it, right? Like reading is hot girls read, right? All of that. So I'm like, and then when I see you're just constantly reading like Emily Henry and like all of the books that are
just like
so
very
trad, just so trad pub, I'm just
almost like you don't need
buying
to be
it.
recommended these books because they're very popular.
You're just
they're already
like rich and well off and pretty and thin. And
yeah, this is the vibe the store gave.
Vibe.
It was like very well put together in the sense that you could tell it was a very expensive store. Like it wasn't, you know, like even stores that sell new books, they have a humbleness about them.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, and this is a marketing tip to Better Read Than Dead. People who really like books are often, they don't want a super suave store. Like it could have sold like video games. It could have sold.
Oh god, yeah, that's it. You could have replaced the books with like cooking
anything.
Right?
It was very basic. It didn't have those like warm tones. It was very cool toned. It had like blue, really bright blue walls and like it didn't feel curated. It just, it was.
Yeah, it felt like a corporation like made it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Not like someone who was like genuinely, I want to have a bookshop that has a purpose and sell books. And it felt like someone with money was like, books make money, here's a bookshop.
Yeah, 2 stars.
2 stars.
And also like too expensive. Like too expensive. Sorry.
Yes, like I got some, but they were like regular New Zealand prices, which are expensive. The next one, I'm still a little bit confused. I have a feeling these were 2 bookstores that merged.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, but like this was again a last minute find on our last few days. This is Abby's Bookshop, but also maybe Galaxy Bookshop. This was in the Sydney CBD.
Yeah.
It was great.
So I was literally like, wait, it says there's like a romance or like a fantasy
focused bookshop.
Yeah, I was like, where is it? And then it was like, oh my god, it's like up the stairs.
Yes,
so
I think the bottom.
Confused.
Yeah, I think the bottom was the Abby's bookstore, and the top was the Galaxy bookshop, and we were like tapped out of our money pretty much.
I know. I was actually very sad to find this because it was literally like shelves and shelves of romance books, and then it had a freaking sale, and I was like, I've literally spent all my money. Like at this point, I am taking money that I'm not.
Did you get
anything?
anything?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah.
But I had to. But
I did too.
I was like, oh shit! Like I could have got a lot because it had like. I took photos of like books that I've never seen before. You know, like it had romance books that I have never seen. I've never seen anyone recommend them. I've never seen them. Like that is so difficult to do these days.
So rare to find in person. It was like
it was so good.
Like usually if you're going to bookstore like a romance section, it's going to be like a shelf, right?
Yeah, and it's
this
like
was
all
shelf,
what you know.
shelf.
Yeah,
like,
back to back. I kept being like, oh my god, there's another shelf. Like, yeah, Emily left me sitting there like on the ground, like looking at books, taking
it was
photos.
so good. Yeah, that was a 5 stars. I'm gonna say 4.
The shelves were lame. Like it was lame. Like it wasn't giving cutesy bookstore.
It wasn't giving cutesy bookstore, but this is the thing. It had more of the humbleness versus the Better Read Than Dead.
It was a bookstore. Yeah, like
it was like we're not wasting money on this branding.
It was like they had carpet that was already there. They put some shelves in.
Oh my god, do you know what it was like?
Books.
It felt like a library.
It was a fucking library.
It felt like a library.
Yes, it was.
A library.
Yeah, 4 stars. Totally.
Yeah. And that was also, just for reference, that was fully new books.
Yeah.
As well. And they had like fun, again, they had lots of fun book things. That's what I will give them some credit for, like, you know, book accessories, if you're into that sort of thing. That was our books. I'm going to mention, just because I also got a book at the Sydney airport.
You did.
Buying a book at the airport, I never recommend, because it's always overpriced.
You're using your cash.
It literally was because I had cash. I had Australian cash left over that I couldn't obviously use in New Zealand, so I was like, it was almost like I had a discounted book, because this money would soon mean nothing to me. Overall, absolutely loved seeing all these different bookstores. The cafe bookstore culture thing was so new to me. I was so excited. I'd never seen that before. Very cool.
I highly recommend, like, we need to do this again. It is expensive. Like, saving for this trip, I was like, okay, the trip is going to cost this much, and then buying the number of books I want is going to cost double. Like, it was expensive, but like doing intentionally, like, we're going to bookstores was so much more enjoyable than I thought it would be in a way.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't get boring. Even though a lot of them do have like the crossover of popular books, when you do the second hand with the new, you come across gems.
Yeah. Or you have a new store like the Abbey and Galaxy bookstore. It's new books, but it's not a classic. It's not your average Barnes and Noble. It's like a very curated selection. Like a specialty bookstore.
Like in our case, like Kmart was like a vibe, because it's not like that here in New Zealand. Like the Kmarts are not like that.
And that was like, and the prices. Like I always recommend.
Even with the conversion, it was way cheaper.
Yeah. I also, like, as much as there is an argument about privilege and that books are expensive, there are secondhand stores and there are good books that are being sold for like under $10. As long as you're happy with it being in a little bit of shitty condition. So like, it's not like going to be a prized aesthetic possession potentially, but like you can get some good cheap books if you find out. And the secondhand stores, again, the ones that just feel so homely, the people as well are so nice. Like the people who work there, you know, they really care about it.
I would buy all my books secondhand. The whole thing is that if you read a lot and you're constantly reading new things that are coming out, like in order to support authors,
someone has to buy the book
to buy
first.
secondhand means you have to get it after someone's bought it, and it's just not happening with a lot of these. Like, I've got so many books I've bought. I'm not fucking donating them anytime soon. Like, they're not going, right?
Yeah.
They're in my library. I want them for my apocalypse library, for my family.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I think I would buy everything secondhand. Like, no shade on secondhand. It's
No,
just that
100%.
some of the books I want aren't secondhand.
Yeah. And I think as well why this was fun is because it wasn't like we just randomly were like, let's go to a bunch of bookstores. We did plan and we did save up. Like,
yes,
we had that money. I think it's like the most disappointing thing in the world when you come across a bookstore and you don't actually have money at the time to spend on anything. You almost just don't want to go in.
I don't want to go in, no.
So yeah, this was really fun, and if you're in Sydney, recommend checking out some of those ones we rated 4 stars.
Definitely the cafe ones.
Definitely those first two. Gertrude and Alice Bookstore Cafe.
I mean, that's the dream, right?
And the
to
Sappho
open
book.
like a bookish cafe.